This is Stella. Rudy, come here.
That's
This
Rudy.
is Rudy. And they would like to ask you for a favor. So go ahead. Oh, I have to do it for them. We are at 750 subscribers. So we're, is it 750? No, 850 subscribers now,
854.
to be exact. So we're very close to 1,000 subscribers. So please, if you could help us out, subscribe, like, we greatly appreciate it. Thanks very much.
So for those who haven't watched our previous episode, you'd have to go back and watch. We actually broke down on our day 2 of an 18-day trip. And so we're just going to talk through what happened and how we dealt with it.
What happened? It broke.
It broke.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
We just left Hope on day 2.
Yeah, and we were going up this hill called the Coquihalla Highway.
Anybody that's from the Pacific Northwest or BC or anything will know the Coquihalla Highway.
It's quite a steep grade, but shouldn't be a problem for the EarthRoamer. And Ray was driving really slow.
And we were not towing the Jeep. And Lise suddenly said she could hear it ticking. She was looking around like, what is that noise? And I'm thinking she's crazy because I don't hear it ticking. And I think it's just something within the driver's compartment. So I pretty much didn't pay too much attention. I think I even turned the radio up. There, what ticking? I don't hear any ticking now.
Ignore the ticking, honey.
And then, I don't know, half an hour later, she said, that ticking, you don't hear that ticking? And I said, no, I don't hear the ticking. It's something vibrating in the truck. And we're going up this hill, and I'm driving along like nothing's wrong. So I turn the radio off, and I'm listening, and she's saying, you don't hear that? I go, well, no, I can't hear anything over the military tires, that they're so loud. And then all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, I do hear a little bit of a ticking. Well, that's really weird. I don't know, so we just kept driving, and I'm thinking, like, lift her or something? I don't know. And we get to the top of the hill, and we're on our way down now. We get to a town called Merritt, so I pull off the road on the highway, and the second I open the driver's door, I think, oh my goodness, it was just horrible. So clearly, I thought right away it was a rod bearing, which I think in the end is what it is. Anyway, so I got out of the truck, opened the hood, and it was just the awful banging. I think we can put video in here. So at that point, we're, okay, this is our second time having a major breakdown. So we are not quite as panicked as we were the first time, but what do we do now? Now we got to call BCAA. I think that was your suggestion right away.
Call BCAA.
I didn't think they would tow us.
Drivers or roadside assistance type stuff.
And then we have to find a rental car because we weren't towing the Jeep, so we had no way to drive home, and or a hotel. None of which we could find at 4:30 on a
Saturday. It was
Saturday?
Saturday afternoon.
Saturday
Yeah,
afternoon.
we couldn't find a rental car. The nearest rental car place was about an hour away, and we couldn't get all of us, the 2 adults and 3 dogs,
to the rental car.
To the rental car.
It was a different
place.
city. It was Kamloops.
Yeah.
That was the nearest rental car.
And so the original plan was to try and rent a car and drive home with the tow truck. Tow truck couldn't make it that afternoon, and so we had to spend the night. I thought I was going to have to spend the next day in a hotel as long as I could, and then go hang out in a park somewhere waiting for Ray to come back and pick me up, because he was going to go with the tow truck, drop off the EarthRoamer at our mechanics, and then
In
go
Langley.
pick up the Jeep and then drive back and get me. And as it turned out, when we got the tow truck there was actually room in the cab for all of us, which was great. The 3 dogs were in the back on the sleeper. And so we were all able to go together, which was huge. It just made our lives so much easier.
It stopped me having to drive all the way back from Coquitlam to Merritt to pick you up and the dogs, and then drive back home again. So that would have been like a 15-hour day by the end of the day. So to continue the story, as you know, we initially dropped the rig off at our service mechanic in Langley. It was a Sunday. It was a Sunday, so of course he wasn't there. I couldn't get a hold of him to warn him. So anyway, I sent him an email, and he didn't have the time or the space to work on it. But they did give us the name of a mechanic out in Abbotsford. He's a Ford 6.7 liter diesel expert, so he knows all about them. So Monday or Tuesday, I'm not sure what day it was, I had it towed from our shop in Langley to the new shop in Abbotsford and met up with the mechanic, who seems to be a great guy. He really sounds like he knows what he's doing. He's already ordered the engine. We're going to go with the new engine, partly because of time. And secondly, I don't know if we want to rebuild the engine and have possible issues and not have any kind of warranty. So this is a brand new motor from Ford, long block, 2 years warranty and limited mileage. He knows everything about them, knows what goes wrong and why it goes wrong.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, he is not a proponent of aftermarket parts. So whether it's turbo, high pressure fuel pump, all the things that typically go wrong with those trucks, he doesn't agree that it's the fault of the manufacturer of the original equipment. He maintains that it's usually poor service.
So poor maintenance.
Poor maintenance. People aren't cleaning their air filters properly. People aren't changing their fuel filters. And if you run it too low in fuel, the fuel heats up too much and causes fuel pump issues. Regardless, we've already got an aftermarket turbocharger because
Yeah,
of
how
it.
did he feel about that?
Not crazy about it,
No.
but he'll work with it because we already have it.
We already have it.
And we're not going to buy another turbo now to replace the one we just put in. So we're just going to detune it so it has more of a factory horsepower, maybe a 50 horsepower bump as opposed to, I don't know what it was, 150 maybe? 100? Anyway, and so that should make it much safer, but he doesn't understand why you can't do 400,000 kilometers on one of those engines, because he sees it all day long. So that's the plan. The engine is, as I mentioned, it's ordered.
Yep, and we're going to fill the entire process so that you guys can keep up with what we're up to. And we still do have a trip planned at the end of June. We're renting a
We're renting another motorhome.
a motorhome to take on that trip, and then we're still planning to go to Tuktoyaktuk in July, so look forward to that.
Yeah.
We'll have a few days to drive it around and check to make sure everything is working as planned, and then we're going. But we're going with another EarthRoamer, and so we feel a little bit more confident if we run into trouble, we're not completely out there on our own.
And we're not taking the Jeep.
And we're not taking the Jeep. No.
And we'll do an unboxing of the engine as soon as it arrives, which should be exciting.
Sure.